and I was like, it's no way I can eat this food like this. And so me being a chef already, I was like, I have to flavor these food items up. So today I'm going to show you guys how to, and I hear a lot of people say, well, it's hard to eat veggies, they're nasty, they don't have any flavor, so today I'm going to teach you guys how to flavor your meals, and they are still very, very healthy. Okay, so today I'm going to teach you how to prepare. This is a standard meal prep. A lot of customers get this, and this I actually lost a lot of weight just eating baked chicken, veggies, and a 4th cup of starch. And the only starches you could eat at the time was brown rice and sweet potatoes. And so, so I'm gonna teach you guys how to make that. And then I'm also going to teach you how to make, if I have any plant-based eaters out there, for the past year, I've switched to a plant-based diet. And so, and I eat a lot of raw food. So I'm going to teach you guys how to make raw plant-based tacos using walnut meat, okay? But first, we're going to get started with the chicken breast, the veggies, and I'm making a yellow brown rice, okay? I placed the link for the recipes in the chat. And like I said, if you have any questions, just hold them to the end, and then I will get to your questions, okay? All right, so what I tell my clients, or when I'm cooking, I always start with the item that takes the longest first. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put our rice on, and brown rice takes the longest, okay? It's healthier than white rice, but it takes the longest. So I'm going to show you guys, and let me know, and if you can't see, if I need to move the camera closer, okay? So the standard measurements for rice is 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water, okay? And that will get you, if you're measuring out, if you're eating healthy, you only want at least a 4th cup of starch. And so that will get you at least 5 meals for the week. And really 7, okay? So we're gonna start that off, but brown rice, rice is plain, right? And so I learned, this is something I learned too, growing up being a chef, we use bouillon to flavor our rice. We use bouillon to flavor really a lot of items. And so to spruce up the rice, because like I said, I was eating this every day. I was like, oh no, I need to add some flavor. So we put chicken bouillon. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see it? Thumbs up, yes. Yes, you can. Okay, cool. So Knorr is you can use any brand you like, but I grew up using Knorr, and I still use it now with catering. And so we use Knorr, and if you are vegan, you can still use this in your rice, but get the vegetable bouillon. Get the vegetable bouillon, okay? So we're gonna start our rice. So like I said, it's 2 cups of water. So 1 cup of rice. And if you're doing this in a rice cooker, it's fine, or on the stove, it doesn't matter. So what you're going to do, on the recipe card, I tell you, you just need a 4th teaspoon of turmeric. Okay, that's what makes your rice yellow. And turmeric has a lot. Don't buy yellow rice in the store because it has a lot of chemicals, so there's no point. Just get you some turmeric and some some bouillon. It could be vegetable or chicken. Okay, but turmeric has a lot of health benefits, especially it's it's an antioxidant. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that word. And it's known for fighting off diseases and cancer. Okay, so anytime I eat a lot of curry anyways, but if you're not a curry eater, obviously with a lot of turmeric, just try to add it to whatever you can. Okay, but it has a strong color, yellow, so that's how you make yellow rice. And it doesn't give it a curry taste, it's just for color, but it's also giving you some health benefits. So you just add a 4th teaspoon of turmeric and a 4th teaspoon of your bouillon. Now, if you buy the powder bouillon, you just measure out a 1/4 teaspoon, or you can just sprinkle it on. You don't want too much because it is a little salty. And if you're working out, you don't have to worry about the sodium levels. I heard someone tell me before, well, bouillon has a lot of sodium. Granted, it does, but if you eat a lot of water and you work out, you're sweating out that sodium. So you can sprinkle some chicken bouillon if you get the powder form, or if you have the cubes, you just add 1 cube, because 1 cube is to 2 cups of water. And so you're putting 2 cups of water in your rice anyways, okay? And so you just give that a good stir. I don't think you guys can see it, but it's already a pretty yellow color. And so as it cooks, I don't know if you guys can see it, I'll show you at the end. And that's all you do, and you have some good yellow rice. So I'm gonna turn that on, and I'm going to let that cook. And the thing about a rice cook, you don't have to watch it. Okay, so we got that started. Now, moving on to our chicken breast. All right. I'll hear a lot of people say, they're tired of eating the same flavors and such. When I was meal prepping, what I would do is I would take a pan, I would split my chicken breast, and because you're eating the same thing, every day, I would flavor each chicken breast differently. Okay, so today I'm going to teach you the basic way to flavor your meat. We grew up doing this all the time. Okay, so you want to base it with onion powder and garlic powder. I don't care what you're cooking. It could be fish. And people always ask me, what did you put on the meat? I'm telling you, just onion powder, garlic powder. So you started off with that. And then you want to flip it. Okay, you want to flavor each side, not just one side. And on the recipe card, I tell you to add a pinch of salt, but I'm getting ready to show you some different seasonings. And if you use those, you do not need sea salt. Okay, you do not need sea salt at all. So I gave you guys some now. I did put Mrs. Dash. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mrs. Dash. Her seasonings are your straight herb blend. They don't have any salt. So if you're a person where you can't eat salt at all, then I would recommend Mrs. Dash. Or if you just like the flavor, then put a pinch of sea salt on your food. But I recommend Mrs. Dash, garlic and herb. She has all types of different flavors. Now these are my favorite. I use these. If you ever order food from me, these are the seasonings that I mainly use. But I use different ones, to season different things. But these are very, very good for chicken and fish. Okay, even the Montreal chicken. So it's the McCormick Grill Mates, Montreal chicken. Weber is a good brand, roasted garlic and herb. And I have all these on the recipe card on the link. This is my all-time favorite, the Grill Mates McCormick. I should be advertising for them, but I'm not. The garden vegetable. And this is my absolute favorite. This goes really good. If I have any seafood lovers, if you eat salmon, shrimp, this is the bomb.com. Okay, Grill Mates, they're roasted garlic and herb. Okay, so for today's presentation, I'm using the roasted garlic and herb. Okay, so after you base your chicken with your onion powder, your garlic powder, and this has a lot of, not a lot, but it has enough sea salt, so I don't need to add any sea salt. Okay, what I teach, and even when I teach my soup chefs, when they come in to help me cook for catering, I tell them I like to see my herbs. Okay, I like to see my seasoning on my food. So I just sprinkle. Now with this one, it's really thick, it's full of herbs, so you're just putting your herb seasoning on the top of your meat. Okay, so even if you're seasoning fish, shrimp, after you do your onion powder, garlic powder, you're just putting your seasonings, the herb seasoning on the top. It makes a nice coat, a nice pretty coat. And we're gonna sprinkle. And if you're meal prepping for more than one day, separate your pieces of meat. You can keep them on the same pan, but just, put different, you can put lemon pepper, whatever your heart desires. McCormick, they also have a good barbecue seasoning. They have really, really good seasonings. And so each day, you're getting a different flavor. All right, so it's nice, pretty, and coated. I can see my seasonings. I'm real big on that, guys. You see it? It's kind of blurry. But you see how those herbs are sitting nice and pretty on there. Okay, and then I forgot to do this, so my apologies, but you want to set your oven now. When you split your chicken breast, that's why I asked on the recipe, I tell you to either get split chicken breast or you get the chicken breast that's cut in half, because if you get it, it comes really, really thick. But guys, this literally only bakes for 30 minutes or less, actually, depending on how hot your oven gets, at 375. Okay, so you set your oven to 375, let it pre-warm, and then you're going to set that in. Okay, now while your chicken is in the oven, the veggies are the last thing you want to make because they cook like this. Okay, really, really quick. You do not want to overcook your veggies. Okay, because when you overcook your veggies, you're losing all the nutrients out of it. Okay, so on the recipe link, I tell you, if you're using frozen veggies, just add your frozen veggies straight to the pan. Okay, because they have water in them, so you don't need to add water to them unless you're boiling them. And we don't want to boil our veggies because then we're boiling out the vitamins. Okay, so the purpose of eating veggies is to get vitamins. All right. So again, big on flavor. So to add flavor to your veggies, here I go again. So I'm gonna turn my stove on. And you could preheat your oven. I mean, not preheat your oven, I'm sorry. I already have your pan preheated, and you could just add your veggies straight to the pan, okay? Hope you guys can see. Okay. And so for my veggies, what I do, same, my chicken bouillon, or you can use vegetable bouillon. Since I've turned vegan and plant-based, I use vegetable bouillon. But good thing my family, they still eat meat, so they'll be able to enjoy this. I'll just sprinkle. I think on the recipe card, I'll tell you, a 4 teaspoon, that's all you need, because it does have salt, okay? Just put your little chicken bouillon. Get that going. Sprinkle it around a little bit. And then remember, I was telling you guys, I love McCormick, the Grill Mate garden vegetable. I love this seasoning, so I've used this mostly for a lot of my different veggies. Just sprinkle a little bit, because you already have the chicken bouillon, and so that has, salt and good flavor. And just sprinkle a little bit, so that I like to see my seasonings. Okay, and you're only going to saute. Really, you're just warming up the veggies over the stove. Okay, so you just want to cook them until they are warm. Okay. You never want to cook them to where they're too soft. You still want your veggies to have a good crunch to them. All right. So you just let that cook. And then voila, in 30 minutes, you have a full meal. Less than 30 minutes, depending on how thick the chicken is. When you take your chicken out the oven, if it turns into it's starting to look a little dry or such, and you want to go ahead and take it out. A lot of people don't have these in the home. I know I have them obviously because I'm a caterer, but go ahead and invest in a thermometer. Okay. For chicken, you could just Google the different cooking temperatures, but the standard temperature you want your food at to know that it's done and good and juicy and not overcooked is 160 Fahrenheit. Okay. So what I will do is I will open my oven and you want to stick your thermostat in the thickest part of the meat. Okay, and this chicken is split pretty well. So, but when you stick it in, you want to make sure it reads at 160. Okay. My stove top sizzling. And once your rice and everything gets done, you can tell me if you guys can see it. It's a little blurry. Okay. And tell me if you guys can see the color, because I want you to see how pretty this yellow rice is. And it tastes super, super good. Can you guys see? So that's your grill. Well, grill, baked, roasted, or however you want to put it. Okay. And that's the same seasonings. All it is just your onion, your garlic powder, my Grill Mates roasted garlic and onion, my veggies with my garden vegetable McCormick seasoning. And once you're done with the yellow rice, that's how it looks. And it tastes super good. I'm telling you, like, if just buy some bouillon, it's a flavor booster. And you can get veggie, depending on what you make. I normally get chicken, or well, like I said, I'm vegan now, so I use vegetable bouillon. So every time I make green beans, spinach, any veggie, I'm adding vegetable bouillon to it. And I even add it to my rice with a little turmeric. Okay, so that's your end result for that. All right, so this is a good plate for my husband and my kids to enjoy. Like I said, I've been plant-based for about a year now. So now on to my favorite, okay? And I don't discriminate, because like I said, I ate this for like a whole 2 years to lose weight. And I lost over 100 pounds. And I started off with a fourth, how did she have me measure it? It was 3 to 4 ounces of meat. It was either fish or chicken. And if you know, fish is real light, so that's kind of little. She said you can eat a whole lot of veggies, and then a 4th cup of rice. But I can show you how small a 4th cup is. This is how small. Oh no, it looks big on here. Actually, this is a 1/3. This is funny. And so literally, that's how much starch I eat. I can only eat brown rice or sweet potatoes. So it's not a lot, but it helped me to lose a lot of weight. Okay. All right, so if you have any questions about that, jot it down and I'll answer it at the end. And I'm going to go ahead and cut my stove off. I can finish those veggies later. Oh, and a cool little trick. Oh, and I did put on the menu card as well, if you are using fresh veggies. Now, fresh veggies don't have as much water, obviously, as frozen veggies. I don't know why they put water in veggies and then freeze it. It makes no sense. But it doesn't have the same amount of water as frozen veggies. So if you are using fresh veggies, put a 4th cup of water, just a little water. You don't need a lot. Add your bouillon first. Let it add your veggies to the pan. That's for fresh veggies. Okay, if you're using the bouillon method. Okay. So I'm gonna move that to the side because I want to put my computer a little closer. I don't want to burn anything. Okay. So when I became vegan, I was called strength training to try to gain some muscle. And so my trainer, she was like, okay, now you're gonna have to, and I was getting a little too thin. So she was like, you're gonna have to add some nuts and beans to your diet. But also, I turned more so into focusing on my health, just being healthy. That's one reason why I switched to being plant-based. And so within doing that, we would, she would give me different options for meat. And so nuts and mushrooms are the best meat replacement. Do not go buy it. They're good for like a cheap meal, but like all the meat replacements that's in the store, if you are switching to a plant-based diet, it's cool to start off with that. But as far as health reasons, no, they're full of sodium. It's still processed. And I have a 15-year-old son. It was kind of funny. I had bought, it was like some chicken nuggets or something. And it says they're plant-based, but when I looked on the back, I didn't see any plants. Like, it didn't have any cauliflower, it didn't have any chickpeas. It was just a bunch of chemicals. I'm like, why are they calling this plant-based? He said, duh, Mom, because it's made in a plant. So I thought that was kind of funny. And so I started, switching to more wholesome meat replacement. So I mainly use mushrooms and nuts. Okay. So now I'm going to show you guys how to make raw. These are raw. So if you're fasting, or if you want to do a cleanse and you want to eat raw fruits and veggies, when I learned how to make these, like I ate these like every day, because sometimes you get tired of salad, and plus I love tacos, right? So these are pretty cool. So the thing to walnut meat or any type of nut meat, if you're using it for a meat replacement, for the consistency, you have to soak the nuts for 2 or more hours. Me, I prefer 8 hours. So if I know I'm making nuts or using the nuts for meat the next day, for my meat the next day, I just soak them in water, just like as if you were cooking beans, you soak them the night before, the day before. Same thing with nuts. The softer you want them, the longer you want to soak them, okay? And so I already had them pre-soaked. Now these, hope you guys can see. Okay, And so for any type of meat replacements, already it's good just to buy the walnuts already chopped. Okay, and so like I said, I've already soaked my walnuts for longer than 8 hours. Okay, so I kind of have them pre chopped in my food processor. Now you want to, you want to add more veggies, so you want to add a half a cup of carrots and mushrooms. Okay. Probably can hear the rice cooker going. I would think so. Turn around. I'm gonna go ahead and cook me some rice. Add some mushrooms. Now here's the fun part. One thing I tell anybody who's switching to plant-based, because I hate when they say, oh, it doesn't have any flavor. Think about it. When you're seasoning meat, well, if you season your meat, you season it with veggies, right? Onions, bell peppers, garlic, right? So just the way you would season meat. So if you were to make tacos, well, the standard recipe for tacos is cumin, chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, little sea salt. That's your standard. So just as if you would season meat, season your veggies the same exact way. Okay. So on the recipe card, I tell you guys to use a 1/4 cup of cumin. So we're going to add it right to the food processor. And you can use a blender as well. Chili powder, 1 teaspoon. And really, I gave you guys measurements. But when it comes to the seasonings, use as much as you want. As much as you want. Okay. And then you want to purchase you some liquid aminos. Okay, Bragg's, I haven't seen any other brand of it, but Bragg's, they're the company that makes the apple cider vinegar. They also make liquid aminos. This is a good soy sauce replacement. And as you know, soy has a lot of sodium, but it also has a lot of salt. So this is also a good soy and salt replacement. Okay, so we're going to add just a teaspoon of liquid aminos. Okay, then we're gonna cut that up. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys a little cheat. If you don't feel like putting, and even though that was just a few ingredients, if you have some taco seasoning sitting around the house, all you have to do is use a half a pack, or just sprinkle what you would like. A half a pack. This is from Kroger, sorry. Just use a little taco seasoning. It has the same thing. And actually, this is how I learned when I started. When I became a caterer, I was like, I have these spices at home, so I could just make my own taco seasoning. So anytime you want taco seasoning, it's cumin, chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder. Okay. Now on the recipe card, I also tell you that you can use crushed pepper. If you don't like things spicy, I like things spicy. If you don't like things spicy, you can omit the crushed pepper, but I like all things spicy. So I'm gonna put me a little crushed pepper because I am going to eat these. Okay. Sorry for the noise, but we're gonna chop this up real good. A little more, got a carrot down there. Now these, you see how easy that was? Boom, it's done. All you have to do is scoop this out. Oh, and when you're eating plant-based or raw, make sure your shell, you can use romaine lettuce. These are taco bolts. I forgot what type of lettuce this is. Or to even add more nutrients, get you some collard greens. Believe it or not, if you cook collard greens, like they're really bitter. But if you eat them raw, they have no taste. And they have more health benefits opposed to just regular lettuce. Okay, so normally I make mine with a collard green. And they're also good for wrapping if you want to make it into more of a burrito. So this one, I'm going to show you guys. All you do is you take the walnut meat. You fill it up. And the good thing about eating plant-based, you can eat, and another thing, when I first started, I used to tell my trainer, I'm hungry. She be like, eat. So the good thing with veggies, you can eat as much as you want. And funny, true story, a few weeks ago, I had to go to Florida. And so I haven't spent time, with my sister and her fiance came. And, you know, I ate a lot because I ate a lot of veggies. I went to a Chinese restaurant. I think I had some Szechuan veggies. I had all kind of stuff. And they was like, girl, how you lose all your weight? You still over there eating? Because the good thing with veggies, I mean, you can eat as much as you want and you're eating live food. So it digests a little bit quicker. Okay, so you can fill it up as much as you want. And just like you would do your any type of taco that you would normally eat, top it however you like it. Okay, so my standard toppings, I have some avocado, I have some mango salsa, I love bell peppers. I always tell customers, eat the color of the rainbow, okay? And so I'm just gonna top it. I have some bell pepper, some yellow bell pepper, green bell peppers. I buy all kinds of colors. Top it however you like it. Avocado, which is the best. Or if you already, you know, if you have some guac already made, throw you some guac on there. Mango salsa. And I don't know what's up with me, but over the past few years, no, I'm sorry, over the past few months, I have come to love cilantro. So I put cilantro on everything. I got me some cilantro. I even got to the point so I don't even have to chop it up anymore. I just straight eat it. It is so good for you. And I love me some spice, so I'm gonna put me some sriracha. And ta-da! And it tastes just like a taco if you were eating a meat taco. See how pretty that is? And it is so good. And my kids, I have a 7-year-old and a 15-year-old who is super athletic, super muscular, and I always hollering about some protein and he needs some protein or whatever. But when I make these, and especially he hates when I say, oh, today is raw. We eat raw today. He hates that. But when I'm making these raw tacos, they tear them up. And this will hold in the refrigerator for about 3 days. Okay. So you can meal prep with this as well. But just know it won't take you a whole 5 to 7 days. Okay. So your mixture will last about 3 days, about 3 or 4, 3 days minimum. Okay. So that's it. And so you see how easy that is. So even if you have like a family at home, if you split your chicken breast, put it on 30 minutes, guys, $3.75. Veggies don't take long. And then your rice. And that's it.
Thank you very much. I am now hungry after watching you make those meals. We had a couple of questions in the chat. Someone asked if you use the air fryer. So if you can let us know.
I need to invest. Right, I need to invest in one because another good, well, I said this before, so I eat a lot of mushrooms as meal replacements, right? But I used to love seafood. So my mushroom to replace even chicken, it was kind of, to me, it had like a pork chicken texture, but oyster mushrooms. OMG, I love to fry me some oyster mushrooms. And so, and you could coat it just like if you were frying fish with cornmeal or fish fry or flour, season it. Look, onion powder, garlic powder, season the salt, Cajun season, or whatever you like. And, you just fry it. And so I keep saying I'm going to invest in an air fryer so I can see, and I love fried okra. Like, I love fried veggies, period. And so I said I was going to invest in one, but no, I haven't personally used one. I'm still kind of old school with, I deep fry a lot of stuff I need to quit. But no, I said I was going to invest in one. I haven't tried it yet, but I promised myself actually this weekend I probably will go buy one. So no, but I heard that anything that I deep fry, anything that you fry, you can put it right in the deep fry. And it saves a lot of calories too, because you're not deep frying it in oil.
Any other questions? Can you explain to us one more time about the rice and the reason you use the turmeric?
Well, so I grew up eating yellow rice. So when I would buy yellow rice is just like a side dish. And so we grew up eating yellow rice. And so when I started switching to being more healthy, trying not to eat as many processed foods. When I went into the store and I would buy the yellow, I forgot the brand name, but it comes in a little, I think it has a little man on it. I don't know, but it's in a little bag. And when I started reading the ingredients, I'm like, what's up? All these chemicals. And so I eat a lot of curry, and I know this true story. Curry, it stains my countertops. I mean, turmeric, it stains my countertops. I was like, you know what? I could probably just add some turmeric to my rice and make it yellow. That's just the sciences and the cooking me. So one day I tried it, and sure enough, it made my rice yellow. And then we've always, because we've made rice pilaf and things like that with catering, so we've always used bouillon anyways. And so, so that's how I started putting turmeric in my rice. And then I eat brown rice, which is healthier. I try to stay away from flour, white rice, and things of that nature. And so I noticed it would still even change the brown rice yellow. And turmeric, it has a lot of health benefits. It's an antioxidant. It fights cancer. It helps skin blemishes. Like turmeric has a lot of health benefits. And so that's how I started adding turmeric to my rice to make yellow rice. I was like, cool. And it tastes just like the packet in the store that's full of chemicals. So
Thank you. Someone mentioned, oh, it is a 5-spice thing, and that they also use powder in their food as well.
Yeah, so it's a turmeric powder. I get it, I buy it already powdered. And I bought fresh turmeric before, but I eat a lot of curry. I eat 5-spice. I love when I switched to plant-based. I'm a mom, a teacher, so I'm really, really busy. So to be honest with you, and I could be wrong, a lot of vegan meals, plant-based, like real plants, real veggies, Indian dishes. And so when I started eating, like when I would find somewhere to eat, a lot of Indian dishes or a lot of Indian restaurants offer a lot of plant-based food. And so they use the 5-spice, the curry, the turmeric. And I actually have some 5-spice in my spice cabinet too. So yes. Yep.
Any other questions? Y'all have any other questions for Ms. German?
What did you say you use for the raw vegetables?
The raw vegetables, so Knorr chicken bouillon. And you can get any brand, but for years I've always used, and I'm saying but my grandmother, she's the main one who taught us. We've used Knorr chicken bouillon. And if you're vegan, you can use that. I have vegetable bouillon as well, actually. And this is another to show you that I have another brand. So they have it in the store. All different brands have it. But Knorr is famous for their chicken bouillon. They also have a vegetable bouillon. Yeah, it's the best. Yes. So when you're using raw veggies, though, however, because you don't want to overcook your veggies. So if you are using a bouillon, boil you a little water first with the bouillon, let it dissolve, then add your fresh veggies. But if you're using frozen veggies, because they already have water in them, just sprinkle. If you use a cube, just put the cube at the bottom of the pan and kind of let it dissolve with the water. Or if you're using the powder, that's my powder. If you're using the powder, you just sprinkle it on like seasoning, but don't use too much because it can get salty. Yeah, there's beef. Oh, I have beef bouillon too. When I make dirty rice, I have beef bouillon as well in here. You guys should see my spice cabinet. It's crazy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Any other questions for Mrs. German? Okay. I have one question. Can you tell us what is your favorite plant-based meal?
Oh, the tacos.
The taco? Okay.
I'm telling you, as soon as we hang up, y'all see this?
Okay.
No, but I love well, I take that back, raw. Because now summertime when it gets hot, I don't mind eating raw in the summertime. In the wintertime, it gets a little hard, right? So I'm kind of glad it's warming up because I'm getting ready to start back eating my raw meals. But my favorite is I pray I'm pronouncing this right, but it's chickpea masala. It's the Indian dish. It's chickpeas. because it's curry based. I love Indian food. And lately I've been eating a lot of Thai food, which is just the veggies with the basil. So I think my favorite cheat meal is samosas. It's an Indian pastry. It's curry potatoes. I love curry. I love curry veggies. I think I should be living on the island in the Caribbean somewhere. I love curry, but just spices, period. But anyhow, samosas, potatoes, peas is curried, and then it's in the bread. It's a bread, but that's a cheat meal. But I love Indian. I think my favorite, and it's my favorite comfort food too. Curried chickpeas, curried veggies, samosas, all of that. But yeah, the raw tacos, that's my favorite. I can eat that every day.
Okay, if we have no further questions for Mrs. German, I do want to thank you all for attending tonight. I know the weather's a little, I hear the thunder, so it must be raining somewhere. But again, thank you. We hope you enjoy. Check out in the chat. We did put a link for the recipes, and also check us out for additional events that Student Life is hosting for the rest of this month on the Presence website. And again, thank you and have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.